as I start this off, note these are the most disappointing games of the year for me. Not that they're terrible, they're actually, some of them are good. I think all the three of them I choose are good. It's just they were disappointing in different ways, and as you can see, I'm starting off with Super Smash Brothers being one of the most disappointing games of the year for me. I still gave it a 7.58, and it's not a terrible game. It did feel very fun. I have to be honest, I played a few games with my friends. We had fun the first day. Second day, we kind of had fun. Third day, that's it. My friends and me, we didn't have fun at all. And the single player was fucking terrible. And besides some of the cool CGI, CG was terrible, and the online was, I mean, do I really have to go over the online people? So, Super Smash Bros., I'm sorry to all fans out there who loved it. I just felt it was weak. It didn't have the charm of the first two. And outright, it just got boring way too fast, unlike Melee and just the original. Next one I want to talk about is Rainbow Six Vegas 2. This game did improve on some things from the first one, like the sprint button, and the online, you know, the way it was looking was much better, but again, the story mode, man, sucked compared to the first. There was one cool scene in the whole game. The first story mode, to me, was just good, you know, like I wanted to know what happened next. And this one, I really didn't give a shit. I wish it was connected to the first, because the first left us off on a cliffhanger, and it's kind of fucking retarded that the second one does not continue, but whatever, fucking Ubisoft. So really, I'm very disappointed in it, and the online, while it was fun, had worse maps than the first, so really, it didn't improve too much in that section, and that's the most important to me, because Vegas 1 had some kick-ass maps. The gameplay is still well done, and that's why it's still a good game, but nah, Vegas 2, you could have been so much more, so you are a disappointment to me, I'm sorry. And the last game, oh, I know this is going to hit some people really hard. Little Big Planet. I was a fan of all the previews. I was looking forward to this game, and it really disappointed. It is one of the most boring fucking games I have ever played. And this probably would come out better if I wasn't sick, but really, it seriously is a fucking boring game. And I know this upsets some. I'm sorry. It was just fucking boring. So, I'm sorry. Okay? My two little cousins, you know, they like it. But me, all my friends, and basically everyone I know in real life but two people think this game is boring. It just isn't fun, okay? It doesn't have the charm of Mario. It doesn't have the fun of, like, Jak and Daxter or, fucking Ratchet and Clank or any other platformer. It's just a boring fucking game, and the story is nonsense, and the tools to make the level get boring in about, I don't know, 5 seconds. It just seriously was a huge disappointment. It just wasn't fun, and I know some of you are gonna be like, "Oh my god, blah, 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 blah." You know, the game is made. It has a lot of polish to it, and I mean, I haven't done a review, but I'm probably gonna give it around a 7. So it's not a terrible game. It's just boring, man. And this is my personal opinion, but I don't know how you guys play that shit. Too boring. So these 3 games are the most disappointing games of the year for me. I'm sorry for all fans out there of these, but shit, man, these were 3 most disappointed, and they're not even terrible, they're just disappointing. On the same note, I would like to say 3 games that were surprisingly well done, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. Again, this is surprising. I'll start off with one that totally took me by surprise, Valkyrie Chronicles. I was expecting a decent game, put it that way, decent, maybe a 7, 7.5, and I would have enjoyed it. Instead, I got a game that I felt is over, it may be a 9 once I'm finished with it. It seriously has beautiful animation. It has a very fun combat system, especially if you're into strategy RPGs, and it takes a new idea and kind of mixes it with real-time strategy RPG, but it's still turn-based, so it's like a little confusing maybe. how it sounds, but it's very good. And it was just, I don't want to give everything away for the review, but it was just a kick-ass game. And it came out of nowhere, surprised me, and I've loved it, and I think it's one of the best board games this year, in my opinion. And I put it as a nominee for the Game of the Year, but it didn't win, of course, because Metal Gear just stomped the shit out of most shit this year. But it seriously is one of the best games I played, surprisingly, and I really enjoyed it so far. Another game that surprised me was Saints Row 2. I enjoyed Saints Row 1. I gave it a high score. But you know what? With Saints Row 2, when I first saw the previews, I had to be honest, it looked kind of corny. And it was just looked like Grand Theft Auto was overshadowing it in almost every way. Grand Theft Auto 4 came out. It was really fun for me. Blah, blah, blah. Pass on. Saints Row 2 shows more trailers. It looks okay. Has a cool story now, but it still looks okay. I bought the game. At first, I was underwhelmed the first, half an hour. It's like, it's okay. Bam. Once the customization kicked in, once I started getting my clothes, once I started to hit the missions, and the story started to unreal itself and become cool, and it was really enjoyable, I just got into it. It was just so fun. I played that whole week, and I beat it in 1 week, and I enjoyed it so much. And then I played co-op with my friend, and it was an awesome game. Really, one of the most surprisingly fun games this year. And it had some problems which I had to address, and that's why it's a lower review. But it seriously is a surprisingly fun game, and one of my favorite this year in terms of surprises. And last but not least, this game seems to be half and half, good, bad, nobody knows. Some people love it like I do, some people don't like it. Prince of Persia. I totally love Prince of Persia. I thought it was a great reboot to the series. I mean, I love the original one. Haven't played Warriors Within, and I liked Two Towers or whatever. Whatever. So, Prince of Persia remake, or Prince of Persia 360, next gen, was just fabulous. I thought the art design was beyond beautiful. I thought it looked awesome. I thought the gameplay was really smooth and everything, and I didn't feel it was too easy. I died a bunch of times, and just because I don't have to see a reload screen doesn't mean it's not challenging. And I loved the story, and I loved everything about it, and it was a huge surprise. I was expecting an 8 tops. I was like, there's no way this new Prince of Persia is going to be any better. There's so many better games out this year. Bam! It took me by surprise. I loved it so much. And besides the few minor flaws to it, in my opinion, it was such a fabulous game that I nominated it on the 360 line. And if it wasn't for Fallout 3, I think that might have just won the 360 line. So that's it. Those are the best surprise games I played this year that I really loved. If you don't agree, you don't agree, but I would love to hear your opinion on what you think are the 3 best surprise games, 3 worst. Okay, Whitey out, and expect, of course, the final best game of the year overall. Peace!